Today, let's discuss how to use a single-use glue injector for repairing furniture. So here you can see my box of single-use glue injecting needles I purchased for a specific job I was working on. Here you have different sizes of syringes depending on how much glue you want to use. And here you have different sizes, which is different lengths of the needle, as well as different bores of the needle. So a bigger bore will allow you to put more glue into a space. Basically, you just put it on and you suck up the glue. Check out these excerpts from a previous Pretty in Paint video to show you the process of using the glue injector needle. So again, I'm going to just inject the glue into this space. You want to use enough to cover as much of the surface as you can for what you can see, but you don't want to use so much that it's dripping because it will be difficult to prime. You must wipe any excess glue off. All right, so now that I have some in there, I'm just gonna push it back down and I'm gonna use something heavy to hold it. Normally, I would probably use a clamp, but because of where this is on this piece, a clamp is not a viable alternative. But before we leave it, we're gonna wipe it off. We're gonna make sure we get rid of any excess glue. Now, I didn't put too much on here, so that's a good thing, but we wanna make sure we get any excess off because this is very difficult to paint over and prime over, so you wanna make sure you remove it. Here, I'm just using some simple baby wipes. You can use a paper towel, you can use a rag with vinegar, you can use pretty much anything. Just make sure you get it all off. And now we're gonna actually apply the glue. So again, I'm going to use weight on this as opposed to a clamp. So we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna inject the glue in here. We're gonna make it nice, not too much again, but enough that we're gonna get a good adherence. And since I've sanded this, we've got a nice porous surface for the glue to adhere to. These little injectors are very, very handy for this type of application. And we're just gonna fill the whole thing up as much as we can. And then again, when we're done filling it and put it together, we're gonna make sure we wipe away any excess glue. So we got a lot of area here to do. Now, lastly, I'm gonna make sure there is no glue remnants. I used my mallet to hit it in, make sure there was a nice, firm seam, and it was nice and tight. And now I'm just making sure I get rid of any glue excess. Since I put glue on pretty much every single seam, I'm wiping pretty much everything. So these are some old-fashioned clamps, but they still work really well. So I use this to slide back and forth for tightening. So we're just gonna put one more clamp here because we did the top, but we wanna put another one on the bottom here to make sure that the panel all the way through is nice and tight. So there we go. Actually, I'm gonna move it back just a tiny bit. You wanna put the clamp right where you actually did the seams. That's important because that's where the pressure needs to be applied. All right, there we go. Now we're gonna let this sit. I'm gonna let this top heavy part do its job. We're gonna let its clamps do these job. And once they dry, we can move on to something else. I hope these short videos will help you to better understand the processes involved in furniture repair and refinishing. And remember, if I can do it, so can you.